There's a better way to beat the heat. Get an air conditioning unit at Quartz, starting at $1,299. Get free installation on your purchase. Plus, with Ready Finance, you can shop now and pay nothing for 60 days. Quartz, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. The invasive alien species IAS project visited the Armstrong farm in Green Hill on Tuesday evening for a multi-stakeholder on-farm workshop about green monkeys, a species causing problems for many farmers, homeowners and other stakeholders. In a press release issued on Thursday, communications coordinator for the IAS project, Dr. Joelle Clark, said she felt it was important to take farmers into their natural workplace for this important conversation. Former Director of Agriculture Melvin James was the main facilitator for the session. He engaged the farmers in a discussion on their experiences and also shared practical experiences regarding managing the monkey problem. Farmers, along with the other stakeholders, discussed options for management such as electric fencing, zoning of agricultural areas, monkey control, trapping, culling, and the use of biomedical research, ultrasonic sounds, and natural barriers such as low-lying prickly shrubs. In his closing remarks, Project Director Evan Parry noted that a collaborative effort is one of the most critical steps in developing monkey management solutions for the Federation. As the Federation anticipates the arrival of the upcoming general elections, senior officials from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force are sensitizing the general public of the various rules, guidelines and laws that govern the voting process. During ZIZ Radio's program Policing With You on Thursday, Divisional Commander for District A, Superintendent Cromwell Henry, said that according to the Election Act, polling stations are to close at 6 p.m. and persons wishing to cast their ballot after this time will not be facilitated.
The National Assembly Election Act provides for polling stations to be open at 7 a.m. and should be closed at 6 p.m. So there's almost a 12-hour period for persons to cast their vote. And that is significant because we see persons tend to come out more to the closing time. And you know, those are the times when the lines become longer. Persons become more agitated because it's coming up to 6 o'clock and they may not get to vote. So yes, we encourage persons to come out as early as possible, because at 6 p.m. You will not be allowed to join the line. The last person who is on the line at 6 p.m. that will be the last person permitted to enter the polling station to cast their vote.
He noted that employers must allow time for their employees to vote. As it relates to who is allowed inside the polling station during voting, Superintendent Henry said the law outlines who can be allowed in the polling station, which includes the presiding officer and returning officer.
It has to be very much controlled, and so the law prescribes who are permitted to enter into a polling station. Of course, the voters are persons who are entitled to vote in the general election. The presiding officer, he's the person who is overall responsible for the polling station. So the presiding officer is allowed to be inside the polling station. The returning officer, of course, is allowed to be there. The polling clerk, those persons who are employed to do all the paperwork, and so those polling clerks, they are allowed to be there. Each party is allowed one agent to represent the candidate, and those agents are allowed also in the polling station. The candidate themselves for the constituency particular constituency where the polling station is, the candidates are also permitted to be in the polling station.
He said other persons permitted to enter the polling stations include members of election observer groups, the Electoral Commission, and the Supervisor of Elections. Superintendent Henry also stated that cameras, phones, or any other recording device will not be allowed in the polling stations.
Your vote is secret, and cell phones and cameras and those other recording devices are not allowed inside the polling station, or at least inside the voting booth.
Yes.
You would have to leave those things at the desk where the clerk is, and then you go into the booth, cast your vote, and come back out. So you cannot walk in the booth with your phone and take a picture of the ballot paper to show as evidence as who you voted for, and have it that on your phone. You cannot, not allowed to do that. Cell phones and these recording devices are prohibited from the polling booth. The voting booth, and so you will be asked to leave those outside.
He said it is a criminal offense that can attract a fine of EC $10,000. Officials at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College CFBC are calling on the general public to support the institution's uniform policy as it promotes a sense of belonging for students and creates a positive identity for the college community. Dr. Moya Rotham, Vice President of the Academic Student Affairs at CFBC, made the call during her July 13th appearance on Working For You.
We do understand what has been happening over the years, and we are reaching out to the public as it relates to parents, employees, persons out there in the public sphere, just to support the college in the enforcement of its uniform policy. All students are expected to wear the uniform as stated in our uniform policy, and this will be shared with students. All students will they are expected to be in full uniform as of the 20th of September 2022.
Dr. Rotham noted that the wearing of uniforms is not just a matter of discipline and spoke to Friedrich and Shanks 2022, who referenced the use of uniforms for students to fashion themselves into respectable and employable future adults. She added that CFBC prides itself on this notion. In relation to new students, the Vice President said that they are expected to be properly attired.
You're expected to wear a white school shirt along with a black or blue long jeans pants, nothing that is distressed, nothing that is cut or torn. We expect you to present yourselves respectfully at the college. We are asking that parents and guardians support the college in its endeavors.
The Vice President added that being properly attired in uniforms is just one aspect of employability skills.
We can't go into the National Bank any old way. We can't go and report for duty at the Defense Force dressed any old way. So we are just trying our best to ensure that our students, when they leave the CFBC, that this is just one aspect to help to mold them into the citizens that we know that they can be.
She said that the school uniforms also contribute to the personal safety of students by allowing easier recognition of students inside the school and in the community. Men over 40 are being invited to the Rotary Club of St. Kitts annual prostate screening drive on Saturday, 16th July. The screening, which did not take place for the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will take place at the Mount Olive Lodge, known as the Masonic Lodge, at Taylor's Range. During the morning show with GQ on Thursday, urologist Dr. Chris Gomez spoke of the importance of this type of screening.
It is prostate cancer screening. All men are born with a prostate. Some people know that or not, and because of that, you're at risk for developing prostate cancer. We see this as we get older. The incidence and the risk of it increases. That's why we start screening at the age 40. And unfortunately, black men and men on the island tend to be at a little bit higher risk. So that makes this visit even more important. The good news is we have ways of detecting it early to where we can actually treat it and cure it. But you don't know unless you screen. That's why coming out to get these tests done by us are really important to do.
Urologist Dr. Daniel Caruso said that the privacy of each person who is screened will be maintained.
This is a discreet operation. It's very well executed. You'll be treated with respect. You come in, we really strive to preserve everyone's privacy in this matter. We know this is a delicate matter. Come Saturday morning, we strive to make this as comfortable and as quick as possible for you. We're talking about something that takes literally less than 10 seconds. You're in a room by yourself. So while you're being examined, it's the doctor, yourself, and that's it. So you need the exam and the blood test, which, by the way, the blood test is part of this whole operation, completely free of charge to the patient, which is amazing because in the States you'd pay, for this whole experience, you'd pay a couple of $100 US. We're all qualified. We all treat prostate cancer, so it's not just diagnosing it. We also know how to go the full length in treating it. So, we bring our skills and experience to the island in the hopes that you all will meet us halfway and turn up.
Neil Owen of the Rotary Club of St. Kitts explained the day's process, noting that while results may be obtained within a few days, they will have to be collated before reaching out to each person.
Let's talk about the logistics of the day. So a patient comes, the first thing he does, he registers. He goes to the registration area. So that's where we take your name, your address, your email address, how to get in contact with you, how to locate you once we get the results. Then you go to medical history. We partner with Windsor University. They provide their medical students, and we take the medical history of the patient. Then we move on to the blood draw section, and we partner with Avalon Labs. Avalon provides the lab techs, and they draw the blood. And then the last stage is you go to the waiting area to wait for the doctors to get the digital rectal exam. So at the end of it, we have some collating of the data to do. So it takes maybe 2 or 3 weeks to put it all together before we're ready to contact the patients to say, okay, here are your results. So, 2-3 weeks at the tops, the blood results are ready within the 1 or 2 days. But as I said, we got to put the package together before we reach out and contact the patient to say this is what happened.
The prostate screening event on July 16th will take place from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dr. Gomez and Dr. Caruso will be joined by Dr. Dwayne Thwaites, Dr. Lawrence, and Dr. Archibald. After the break, Asara Marie Institute of Music hosts Music Camp, and Ministry of Sports General Sports Camp returns. Stay with us.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today. Elevate your experience.
Mommy, where did you get all these groceries from?
When my mom was a child, my grandma was only able to provide just what they needed. When my mom got older, she was then able to provide what they needed and some. But now, with FlexPay, I am able to get everything we need and lots more with cashback.
Wow, Mom, I hope this never ends.
For the last 25 years, SN Hospice Company Limited has given customers millions in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cashback.
Welcome back. 30 students are learning about music at the Asara Marie Institute of Music as it hosts its second annual summer music camp at Florence Nightingale Lane in New Ponsite. Facilitator of the camp, Gavin Charles, said the goal is to revive the use of traditional instruments.
Well, over the years, we have seen the need to revive what we call the traditional instruments that are lacking here in St. Kitts. Stuff like, the saxophones, the clarinet, the recorders, the flutes, trumpets, trombones. We've seen over the years that these instruments, for some reason, are forgotten. They're taken over by the new electronic age where it's all about a rhythm box or maybe a keyboard. So a lot of the students, they were never exposed to these instruments, maybe not even their parents. So we suddenly need to try to revamp what we've been seeing in the music industry.
He said he hopes that the camp will spur interest to have regular sessions when music classes restart in September. He also stated that the camp aims to stimulate a love for music and have students transfer knowledge.
What we hope to achieve is, an overall love, not just for music or not just for listening music, but for enhancing the performing arts industry. We want to see young people taking over things. I mean, they would be able to identify different instruments, one of which or two of which they might fall in love with and decide, okay, Daddy, Mommy, I want to master this instrument. And maybe after mastering this instrument, I could move on to another one and maybe teach my brother or my sister or even my parent.
As the camp was postponed in 2020 and 2021, Charles spoke of the experience of this year's hosting thus far.
We're thankful that, they eased some of the restrictions and the kids were able to come out and do some different activities this year. And we hope that we continue going on this path and we're able to hold another camp next year, God spares life. But for right now, it has been a lovely experience. It's been a learning experience for the children and myself. And I would like to thank my team who came together on such short notice, and we clicked and we went forward and engaged different stakeholders who were more than willing to come on board and assist with this camp, and for that we must say thank you.
The camp, geared towards children 6 to 18 years old, started on Monday, July 11th and is being held for 2 weeks. The Ministry of Sports General Sports Camp has returned. The July 11th to 15th camp is currently facilitating approximately 130 children who are fine-tuning their skills in cricket, football, basketball, volleyball, tennis and golf. In an interview with the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, Director of Sport Charles Morton said that he's happy the department is able to offer the outside experience to children.
We are thrilled to resume our summer camp. This is the first in 2 years hiatus, so we are excited. We are happy to be back out to offer this camp to the young people of the country.
Mr. Morton thanked the coaches for their commitment to ensuring that the camp is fulfilled and educational. He singled out Brittany Lawrence and Fonitia Brown, 2 members of the female national football team who are working with the girls during football training.
I also want to take the opportunity to commend the coaches of the department. They have been the ones leading the charge. In case of the female football, we have Fonitia Brown and Brittany. They're the 2 females, 2 national players who have come to provide assistance to our young ladies. So I want to say special thanks to them. We have also gotten some assistance from Ram's group of companies. They have been on board, and we have a number of persons who are assisting with the catering and just ensuring that the success of the camp is realized.
He added that some parents often drop in and spend some time observing the training sessions. They frequently expressed appreciation that their children can be meaningfully engaged during the week. The camp targets children between the ages of 7 to 14 years old. 41 4th to 5th form students from the various high schools in Nevis are being exposed to presentations from a wide cross-section of industries at the Nevis Department of Labor's Career Fair 2022. This is being done to guide the students to a career path in which they have an interest. The 4-day event happening this week at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park is being held under the theme Skills Development and Opportunities for a Brighter Future. Honorable Spencer Brand, Minister of Labour in the Nevis Island Administration, called the initiative an important one aimed at preparing youths on the island to enter the workforce and also to become entrepreneurs. During the opening ceremony, Minister Brand said skills-based training is more important than ever in today's workplace, as employers are seeking candidates for employment with soft skills such as creativity, adaptability, problem solving and critical thinking, as opposed to formal academic qualifications. Students are being shown sectors such as hospitality and tourism, construction and technical fields such as electrical and plumbing. They will also be trained in small business development, personal development, and beauty cosmetology and the labor sector. Topics also include general behaviors at the workplace and labor laws. Coming up in regional news, Environment Minister welcomes country's top global ranking in tackling plastic pollution. The